to discredit someone so that nobody will hear them. Everybody will hate them. They will be harmed and will never get an honest day in court. You start off by destroying their name. You got to accuse them of things that are so heinous that everybody will hate them no matter what. You accuse a man of being a rapist or a child molester, you're going to make his life hell. It's not going to even enter your mind. Oh, wait, no, it does enter your mind that you're doing that to the man. It does enter your mind the hell that he's going to have to go through, that you won't have to go through because you're female. If you accuse a man of being a rapist or a child molester, yeah, his life becomes hell. You accuse a woman of being a rapist or a child molester, oh, well, he should just be glad that he got laid. Holy fucking shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, when I was trying to tell the police what was going on before Natalie died, I just kept on getting blown off over and over and over and over and over again. After Natalie died, well, you look at what Natalie had to say. She called me mentally ill. That magically makes her right and I'm wrong. Meanwhile, who was it that was on heroin? Not me. Who was it that intentionally destroyed another person's life? Not me. She wanted people to not listen because I was telling them the truth. Natalie did a lot of fucked up shit to me because she was fucked up on heroin. Sean's slandering me, don't listen to him. Bitch, you died. They tore your body apart, took pieces out, and found what? Heroin. Heroin. Yes, I told the fucking truth. It was not slander. All of that from Natalie was fucking slander. It was misleading, and it was omitting information. You call somebody a child molester, a rapist, say that they're mentally ill. Oh, God, that is a hell of a combo. You can do whatever you want as long as they're alone. I spend most of my time alone. It's not pleasant. It sucks having to worry about all of this shit that I have to jump through. But I can't see any of my loved ones. I don't have positive people to hang out with, to go do fun stuff with. Heck, I got one guy who, now that it's summertime and he's starting to work, he's in a lot better mood than he was most of the winter. He's not as depressed as he was most of the winter. But then his ex comes over and fucking start it. God, yeah, no. Then instead of me and my friend hanging out for a few minutes, I'm listening to her bitch about shit that's her fault. I'm listening to her tear apart this man who literally bought a house for his children. And this woman wants to come in and make it her house. This is my house. Oh, he bought me this house. We must be back together because he bought this house. No. For like 4 days, every time she started speaking, it's, my man, my man, my man. He's not your man. You assumed that he was getting back together with you because he bought a house so that your kids would have a place? That's not the same thing. I mean, not only that, but this guy is making a lot of effort to make sure that his kids have the house and she can live with them. And he doesn't have to deal with her because he's going to live on the property in a camper trailer. That's right. He's buying a house and he's not even going to live in it. He's fixing it up as we speak, but he's not even going to live in it. He's going to live in a camper outside so that his ex doesn't continually get the wrong idea and she does stalk him. I mean, literally, he's doing all of these good things, all of these things to try to help out his family, help out his children, help them to have a future, and help out his ex, despite the fact that she just won't leave him alone. When she comes over, she's not excited to see him. She's busy bitching at him about how terrible he is at this and how terrible he is at that. She's a fucking Christ woman. He's trying. You're not paying a cent to move into the house. Why don't you be fucking grateful for what you got? A lot of people keep telling that you need to be grateful for what you got. Shit, that's difficult when you got nothing. When what you got is abuse. When you got people stealing shit from you, lying to you, falsifying information. And this lady, no matter what he does, she goes off on him like he's the fucking devil. He doesn't want to be with her. He has voiced that to her many times. Hang out. What does that mean to him? It means that when he gets there, she's going to try to have sex with him. I mean, he told her that he was done with her, and what did she do? She got pregnant thinking that that's going to get her back together with her man. Shit, listening to him set her straight. That's not something, first of all, that I should be there for. But he did it in a very adult fashion, and she was very childish. Now she's big and pregnant, and he's getting ready to take on another kid. It's his kid. You know, he had sex with her after they broke up. That's his fault, too. You know? But the thing is, she thought that if she got pregnant, that she'd get him back. And it doesn't work that way. You're not good together. And he knows you're not good together. And he doesn't want to go through that anymore. You, as a woman, need to understand that if you were treated the way that I was for those behaviors, you probably wouldn't be pregnant anymore. If you were treated the way that I was treated, you'd have lost your kid already. You'd have been through too much stress and too much physical abuse to carry a child. You'd have had too many drugs injected into you to have a baby that's going to have a functional brain. I don't even remember what I labeled this thing. I do remember there was a point to it. So I'll have to see the label and figure out what my point was supposed to be. It's a good thing I can open up one or more of these screen things at a time. If I open up 3 or 4 of them, then it automatically shuts off my internet. All right, it's mentally ill versus intelligent. Thank you, okay. I don't need a fan. You know, don't look at me like that, please. I'm fighting for our rights. I'm not a rock star. I'm not a musician. So every time that I went into the police to talk to them, I got given the mentally ill treatment. That's why they wouldn't take any reports. Now they pretend that they're going to. This very same department that I'm trying to get charges against wants to pretend now they'll do something. See what happened when I went in there, didn't you? You got to hear Scott DaCosta and his rules for what I'm allowed to talk about. They did a lot of illegal shit. I'm going to tell you something. You need to go talk to a supervisor. No, never talk to the supervisor. That supervisor is friends with that person. That supervisor hired that person. That supervisor will have to deal with the rest of the people who work with that person if they do the right thing, which is actually investigate. So when you go to have his superior officer investigate it, that tips off the police. That tips them off. It's kind of like, if a police officer was to call up a drug dealer, investigate what? All the abuse from the Bollinger family, the public, the police, the broke-ass judicial system. Now, when it come down to it, they played the mentally ill thing far enough in court to prevent me from showing evidence. And then magically I'm intelligent. They call me mentally ill to deny me the rights of an intelligent person. And then they call me intelligent to justify it, to pretend that because of my intelligence, that my rights weren't taken away. They certainly were, have been, and still are. It does kind of look like a spaceship, don't it? Okay, typed. I know where you are, but it still looks like a spaceship. I know. It's pretty cool, ain't it? And this thing looks completely like shit. 360 degrees. It's filled. Yeah, a lot of people's rights were taken and they're dead now. Over the Natalie situation. Natalie wasn't even the first person to die over that situation. You know how fucked up that is? Because I couldn't be in Boulder passing out blankets. Homeless people froze to death. Then Natalie died. It wasn't just Natalie that died, though. At least 5 homeless people were beaten to death for looking like me in the Denver area right after Natalie died. Of course, that all depends on who you ask. It's all right for them to harm me and call me mentally ill. And then it's all right for them to railroad me in court by pretending that they never treated me like I was mentally ill. You need to make up your mind. Am I intelligent or am I mentally ill? The things that I had to do out of desperation because the police wouldn't do a goddamn thing. And I had to go to the police, these very same police officers who did illegal things before Natalie died. And these are the officers in the departments that I have to go talk to afterwards? Oh, hell no. Hell no. And I got these officers here now, they're like, oh, well, I wasn't here for that. I wasn't here for that. You work for the same fucking crooked-ass sheriff, motherfucker. You're doing the same crooked-ass shit that the sheriff's been doing. So don't tell me that you're not involved because you weren't here at the time, because you are involved now in covering up the wrongdoings of your boss. Shit. Officer Greenman, the one who told me that I needed to get a lawyer. I needed to get a civil lawyer in order to get those body cameras. I have to have a lawyer for that? So if I don't have the money for a lawyer, you can do whatever you want to me. You're admitting that. Is that what you're doing? No, I'm talking about the cops. Currently, I'm talking about the cops here in Chapel, Nebraska. Sheriff Scott DaCosta, Officer Adam Greenman, Officer Fisher, Officer Hayward. Those are the ones currently. It's in addition to Deputy Hahn, Deputy Anderson, and Deputy Selhorst, who all broke the law. All of them broke the law, and all of them got away with it. It's all right to be late to the party. You're fashionably late. I'm 14 minutes into this video. You're good. But the problem is that I am both disabled and intelligent. So they get to use my disabilities against me when that's what will help them away with committing their crimes. And then I'm intelligent only when that helps these officers to get away with their crimes. They say, we'll help you, we'll do this, and we'll do that. And when I go down there to their office to do those things, they don't. They don't. I need help with this stuff. I can't just sit down and be happy and just get it done. No, I've been through 3 years of hell over this. I am not a functional human being. I literally need help in person. This is what I have been asking for since before Natalie was killed. Now, all of these people who didn't do their jobs, didn't come forward, omitted information, and hid behind others, knowing that I was being harmed because they didn't come forward and tell the truth, including people like therapists, caseworkers, and police officers. Yeah, those people deserve prison time. Jeff Ritter should not have a license to be a therapist at this point. Tara Heller just had a baby a couple of years ago. She was pregnant after Natalie died. Big old pregnant. I believe she belongs in jail for what she did. When a disabled person comes to you and says, I am being assaulted, you need to fucking do something. When a disabled person comes to you and says, I was assaulted, do you blow them off? Should you blow them off? Oh, he's mentally ill, so he must be making it up. He's mentally ill, so it must be okay. He's mentally ill, so it must be his fault. Meanwhile, I got to go to people like Amy and Andrew Witcher for help. They're fucking strung out on drugs. I got to go to people like Shannon Alvarado for help. She can barely function. She can't think because she drinks. All of her problems with her daughter are about her drinking. And it's not her drinking that's the issue, it's the way she acts when she's been drinking. Just like Teresa Orn, who is always drinking. At least, in part, Shannon Alvarado is sober for part of the day. She's sober from the time she wakes up until 6 o'clock. Shit, bitch. You curse all the fuck you want, you're good. You hear the shit that comes out of my mouth? And I probably shouldn't have said bitch, that's not proper. And that's the thing. Like, Shannon Alvarado meant well, but she is an alcoholic, and she does hurtful things every day to those around her. And she doesn't care that it hurts them. She makes excuses why it shouldn't, why her alcoholism should not affect anybody. But the fact is, it does affect people. I quit drinking for a reason. I quit drinking in 2001 because I didn't like drinking anymore. I had a choice between my addiction and my loved ones. And unlike all of these other people, I chose my loved ones over my addictions. My mother didn't do that. My sister didn't do that. My little brother didn't do that. My older brother didn't do that. My dad didn't do that. All of these people chose their addictions over their loved ones. If you love your drugs more than your own kids, you shouldn't have had kids. When I was in high school, my mom, but let me give you the whole story as quickly as I can. I got some money that I busted my ass for. I was working for a guy named Doug Cowden, and he turned out to be a child molester. He raped Rihanna Ingersoll. What a fucking piece of shit. But he died in prison. However, here's the thing. I've seen a lot of people choose their addictions over their family. The situation with Amy, her addictions over her kids. But that's not all. Amy Witcher and Andrew Witcher. Andrew chose drugs over his own family. Amy chose to do drugs and chose that child molesting drug asshole over her own kids, over their own safety. Then we got Jamie Curtis up there in South Dakota, likes to twist, contort, and manipulate things. But she fucked up. She used her son in that. She used her son to manipulate me and to manipulate others. Shannon Alvarado did the same goddamn thing. Used her son to manipulate me. Pretty fucked up. I love Rihanna. I've known her a lot longer than I've known Amy's kids. But I made Amy's kids my first priority there because they had to be. Rihanna was not sober enough to wipe her own ass, let alone take care of two kids who were so unruly. Shannon Alvarado, between getting sober or treating people like shit, she couldn't stay sober. Almost the whole time she wanted to talk to me about how her ex was this big, terrible alcoholic. As I'm cleaning out that back room, which is wall to wall fucking shit. I mean, it's just full. We couldn't even open the door when I first got there. I did a lot of work in that room just so I could use it, just so I could be in somewhere that's relative peace and quiet. I was going to tell you a story, and I can't remember what that story was. That's why I went on this tangent. But the thing is, all of these people protected predators. All of them. Actual predators. And they wanted to be a victim because I spoke out about those predators. Yeah, between going to prison to protect your kids and being out here while Andrew gets to do whatever he wants to your kids while sucking down mass quantities of methamphetamines. I mean, goddamn, it's a fucked up situation. Here's something I want you to remember about all autistic people. If they are having a meltdown, there is always a reason. If they can't speak and they're having a meltdown, yeah, that's going to be really difficult. But if they can speak, it still doesn't matter because you're not going to fucking listen to them. Like those of you who have perfect lives, wives, perfect cars, perfect house, perfect job, want to spout at us who don't have all those things about how we should think it. You're right. You're absolutely right, Ashley. And that's something that that was a big major tension between me and Lanny Engeline. She wanted to pretend like I was trying to be a martyr. I wasn't. I was just trying to show the truth. But since then, it seems to me I don't have a choice. And to protect your children, yeah, I'd go to prison for the rest of my life. I'd go to prison for the rest of my life to prevent Natalie from getting shot in the head, to prevent her from getting raped by her dad again. It would be worth it for me to spend the rest of my life in prison or in the ground if that's what it takes to get people to actually look at the evidence.